up the stakes. I bend to my will.
Hey guys, that was just a quick couple clips of some bosses on my sort of scuffed, definitely scuffed, cast no damage taken wardlooper. I thought this was just an interesting implementation. I haven't seen a lot of videos or info on the falling zombie and summon raging spirit wardloop version, and I tried to implement something with gladiator's 99% block. Didn't quite turn out how I wanted it to be. Character dies a lot still. It's not min-maxed, but maybe someone else wants to push it further. Maybe not. This is just a showcase of some mechanics, pretty much, the build. So yeah. This is a T16 you're watching now, and then there's a Maven clip if you want to watch the full version of those. And then after that, there's going to be me showing off the loop and explaining a little bit of how it works, but not going into the deep details. And then there's also a section for the PoB overview, my thoughts on the build, my initial brainstorm, and what I wanted the build to be and what it actually turned out to be. So yeah. If you want to skip to those sections, there will be timestamps below. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching.
Hold your tongue. Make your choice. Be quick. So be it! Let fury take you! Ugh, try and just take it already.
Time to up the stakes. I bend to my will. The prize piece comes to join
My collection. Pain will be returned tenfold. Space aligns. Behold my collection.
My spirit is spent.
I will have what I want. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry.
resistance will be punished. Time contorts. Scurry. Scurry.
Meet your end! Meet your end!
My irritation is growing. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. Stand still.
Let his power be known!
Do what I say.
Death made real.
Stand still. How?
Stop resisting. Reality bends. Punishment inescapable.
Arrogant toy. This will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. Cascade of pain. Stand.
Caretaker! To me!
Hey guys, here is the section I will show off the loop that I am running. No edits to the loop. This is it in its full form. We have Summon Raging Spirit, Forbidden Rite, Less Duration, Cast when damage taken in the gloves, Cast when damage taken, Summon Skeletons, and Zombie of Falling in the shield. Shield and gloves, doesn't really matter where you put these. Only thing that matters is gem order, quality, and level. Yeah, here is the loop. It's pretty easy to start. I didn't click my ward flask there, that's why my HP went down a bunch. But yeah, supposedly the zombie SRS loops take a while to ramp. This one ramps pretty fast, as you saw. Alright, I reset. Now I will show the loop without Ashes of the Stars. Based on what I've done before, it still functions. Forgot to press ward flask again. Yeah, so it doesn't take long to ramp, and it functions pretty much the same. So that, I guess, proves that you don't need the quality on the main gems, or at least you don't need the extra 28 quality, or however much Ashes is giving you. Okay, now I'm gonna mess with the duration. Right now we have a Summon Raging Spirit duration of 2 seconds. If I switch in 2020 instead of 2022, I'll get 2.05 seconds. I think this functions the same. Alright, so this one actually does not function the same. You can see it's proccing a lot slower. I should have mentioned it already in my overview of the loop section, but SRS, the loop depends on zombies desyncing, falling zombie desyncing with summon raging spirit duration. SRS duration is supposed to be a multiple of your cooldown reduction. Honestly, I'm not totally wrapping my head around what that means, but all I did was just fiddle with less durations and eventually got to a point where the loop felt good. A lot of people, or on the Discord, most of them were using 6-link with SRS, less duration, and Swift Affliction. I got mine to work with just less duration. So if I swap this back in, it should fix itself, but it might need a full reset. Looks like it's starting to speed up a bit. I'll just do a full reset. Alright, yeah. So, getting it down to 2 seconds was important. Now I'll swap in the level 1. We'll reset again. Let me do this trade. Alright, so I reset. I have gonna put in just a level 1 less duration now. Minions last 3 seconds. See what happens. So it looks to be about the same speed as the 2020. So as you can see, duration is very important. Oh, it sped up there. Yeah, so the loop is really finicky. It works with a level 1 duration, I guess. Less duration, but it takes a lot longer for it to ramp to the full speed. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of different combinations that you can use and the loop will work, but it's up to you to figure out those combinations and the formula or whatever that's causing this loop desync to work. Next, I'm going to show what happens when you switch around the ordering of the minions. So right now I have Summon Raging Spirit, top left slot, and I have Raise Zombie at Falling in the bottom right. So Summon Raging, I think it's ordered where the top, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 gets casted first, then 2, then 3, then 4, etc. So Summon Raging Spirit gets casted first, and then for this one, Raise Zombie of Falling gets casted third. I think as long as Raging Spirit is before Zombie of Falling, then it works. But we'll test it. I'm going to put Zombie of Falling here, Raging Spirit here. So this is when they're in the same summoning order. The loop should not function. And it looks like it does function. I tried rearranging a bunch of the gems and wasn't actually able to consistently get or replicate any problems with the loop. So for this, it seems like gem order doesn't matter that much, even though I think it should. But yeah, if you run into problems with that, then just copy the order I have and you should be good. The last thing I'm going to go over is cooldown reduction. Right now I have the third breakpoint, or sorry, the second breakpoint, which is 27% cooldown reduction. The first breakpoint's 9% cooldown reduction for cast when damage taken. So if I take one of these off, if I take this off, I'll have 12%. So I'll be at the 9% cooldown reduction breakpoint. And the loop should be noticeably slower without that. If the loop was functioning at max speed before. So you can see that it actually looks similar speed, but it has moments where the loop, where it'll stop. So it goes really fast and then stops for a second, and it keeps doing that. It's like there's like a stutter. And then if I take off my boots, it should be even worse, because I'll be at no cooldown reduction breakpoint. So let's try that next. This is no cooldown reduction. Yeah. So a lot slower here. It's weird because it's less than half the speed that it was before. When it should just be a bit slower, like 10% or 20% slower, but instead it's like 50 or 100 or 200% slower. So yeah, as I said in my initial overview, it's definitely a wonky loop, but the power you get compared to a normal ward loop, or the power for the investment, is better than usual, I think. Usually you'll have to invest in like 4 joules to dust joules, or you'll have to invest into a 6-link setup. But this one only requires, I guess this requires 7-link or 7 gem slots. But then you can run like a staff or something if you wanted for another 6-link. I'm using a helmet right now as my other 6-link. But Annihilating Light's probably way more damage for normal ward loopers. Okay, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna go over for the just showcasing like different combinations of stuff for the loop. If there's other stuff you guys wanted to see for combinations, or if you wanted more in-depth testing, let me know, and maybe I could make a separate video for it. But for now, in this video, that's all I'll do. Alright, so here is my PoB overview. First thing, I'll just go over the notes section, which has an overview and thoughts on the build. So yeah, here was my fantasy or my thoughts on how this build could possibly function. My goal was 99% attack and spell block, plus enough life recoup through the cast when damage taken loop. So we're practically immortal to damage over times and hits. But the actual application of this did not feel nearly as good. Here's the problems that I ran into. Damage is decent, and it's pretty hard to push it further. I didn't experiment a ton. I just experimented with different lightning skills because I assumed with my Doriani's mercenary and lightning skills it would be pretty hard to pass up that. But most people go the Ice Spear Freezing Pulse setup for ward loops, so Maybe. That could end up better. I didn't test it. Maybe I will in the future, but this is where I'm at right now. And next is you need a lot of life recoup. It took me quite a bit. I had to get an amulet anoint. I had to get a wheel on the tree. This wheel over here. And I had to get a few jewels with life recoup in order for it to start feeling good. And of course you can get more. And the more you get, it's going to feel a lot better. But it does require a lot of investment. And then next, the way Glad's lucky block works is you have to block a hit before it activates. And I don't know of a way to block hits besides just taking them from an enemy. So there's always a chance you're going to get smacked by a really big hit before your 99% block settles in, since you have a 1/4 chance of getting hit initially. So yeah, that application of the lucky block does not feel that great. And then last, curses mess up the build pretty badly, like punishment and vulnerability. You'll kill yourself right away pretty much. It's not too hard to get curse effect though, so that one's kind of solvable, or a reduced curse effect on you. The other one is increased damage taken. There's actually a good amount of sources of this, and if you get hit by them, then that's another instance where you're going to get pretty much insta-killed. So yeah, just things like that make the build annoying to play, and I think most ward loopers have to deal with that, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, last thing I'll go over in the notes section is interesting tech. So this loop I'm using is different than your usual one. The usual one is you use 2 dust jewels to get a skeleton duration that's matches with your cast when damage taken cooldown. And then there's also another loop that's more similar to this one. People are using a 6-link staff, or a 6-link setup with falling zombie, summon skeleton, and summon raging spirit, and it has like less duration and swift affliction, and they're able to get it to desync and do a similar thing to what I'm doing here. There's not a ton of information. You kind of have to dig for it for that type of loop. You can see on PoE Ninja, a lot of people are using it and just copying each other. And then same with the cast when damage taken loop Discord. There's talk of it and explanation of the mechanics, but I still feel like it's not completely solved or understood. For me, my loop, I use a 4-link and a 3-link. I don't use a 6-link. I don't have another 6-link available really. And I don't know if it's functioning at top speed, but it looks like it is. It's activating pretty fast. I think at least 3 times, but I think it's like 5 times a second. So the effective trigger rate should be accurate. I'm going to have a section where I go over the loop. I'll showcase the loop and experiment with different things like quality on the gems and duration of summon raging spirit and cooldown. So if you want to see some specifics of the loop, then check that section out. I'm not going to go super detailed into the mechanics of how this desynced loop works because I don't know them that well. If you want explanations or a deep dive into that, if enough people want that, then I'll make a video for it. But you can always go to the cast when damage taken loop Discord and ask about it there as well. I haven't really seen anyone do the setup I have here, so I don't know how much help they'll be regarding to that, but they can help you with the normal setup. But yeah, there's my notes section. I'll go quickly over the tree and stuff. It's different from your normal cast when damage taken loop tree because we're doing block. So we need block clusters. We need some block nodes on the tree. We're gladiator. So we're taking lucky block and block on the shield. Honestly, the gladiator doesn't really synergize that well with the setup. Getting very small damage increases from these two. And then, yeah, getting the block. But it was an experiment. For flask duration, they nerfed Olroth's resolve flask, so you need a ton of flask duration and charges gained to get 100% uptime on that. That's where most of our tree is coming in. You'll need Blessed Rebirth for the loop to function. Otherwise, mobs can kill your minions as they spawn, and then that'll mess the loop up. But yeah, we're taking Pain Attunement, and we have Righteous Fire for increased damage. We got Mage Bang, and Spell Suppression is lucky. So we have pretty high spell suppress as well, 90%. But yeah, that's about all for the tree, I guess. For items, I just have a Divinarius. It's just an easy weapon to equip. I have a well-rolled one. It's obviously better ones you can get, but it's what I got. We have our Lucky Block Shield. It's what the build's kind of built around. For a helmet, it's just a multiple, it's like a 6 or 7 link helmet pretty much. I guess, let's see, 30% LA damage, hypothermia. Yeah, it's around 6 or 7 links. We need ways to get damage, and you can either do 6 or 7 link gloves, 6 or 7 link helmet, and put your other gem, your other trigger in there. You could even do another, like you could probably squeeze in 6 or 7 link gloves on top of 6 or 7 link helmet, so you could have 3 gem damage setups. But then you're gonna lose some of your gems, like auras and stuff. Like you could get rid of Frostblink, summon skeletons. I think you could be able to squeeze another damage setup in here if you wanted to. Yeah, but yeah, for the chest plate, really high armor and evasion, and 2 flash charges every 3 seconds. I think you can get away. You can get away with 1 flash charge every 3 seconds. The 2 flash charges every 3 seconds is really expensive. I think it cost me like 12 divines or more to get that one. But yeah, you can do it with less. You'll just need more nodes on the tree for flask duration and stuff and all that. For gloves, high life, intelligence, res, and then the implicits. Boots, pretty important. You need cooldown reduction on them. Oh yeah, forgot to mention you need 2 shaper items as well for this Bound by Destiny. I have it in my helmet and my boots. Boots have the cooldown reduction. They got high life, high movement speed, open suffix. Ashes of the Stars, anointed with damage recoup. Heartbound loop. Only thing you really need on here is the elemental res and the physical damage taken. 20% quality. Mine is 19%, which actually works, but yeah, you need a high amount of phys damage taken on minion death through catalysts. The belt, really you just need catalysts for to increase the armor, gain ward instead of armor and evasion. Olroth's resolve, this can get expensive. You do kind of need a quality one to increase its base duration. Without that, then you're going to need even more nodes on the tree for flask duration. Progenesis isn't needed, but it increases max hit by a chunk. A lot of times I just run a Quicksilver for speed instead. Large clusters, sort of went over it. It's the double spell block ones. We run 2 of those. And for jewels, medium cluster jewels, we have 3 with fasting on it. No, sorry, 2 with fasting. And then 1 with 35% increased effect and duration. For these things can be expensive and stuff. So most importantly, you're just trying to get a lot of flask charges gained and enough flask duration so that your Olroth's resolve is over 10 seconds. Because with the Trader Keystone, we need it to be two instances of the 4 charges per empty slot flask. So any combination of charges gained and duration to get 100% uptime on your Olroth flask. A lot of different combinations you can do with that. Have our Bound by Destiny. The only mod we're using on here is the cooldown recovery rate. For the rare jewels, damage taken recouped as life, resistances, flask duration, spell block, attack block, any of those mods, combinations of those mods is good. For the Megalo, you will need one of these. Blessed Rebirth and Fasting, hopefully you can get both of those. Think they're still cheap, but I'm not. The league is getting late into the league, so stock is going down for certain items. We have an Unnatural Instinct and a Light of Meaning combination over here, giving us 40% damage. That's most of our damage increases right there. Our Brutal Restraint gives flask charges gained. You could probably get at least two nodes of flask charges gained, I think. And then Watcher's Eye has Chaos Res with Purity of Elements. Initially I was using this Purity of Elements, but I opted off it, so better off just swapping a rare jewel in for that. I'll go over the gems. Gem slots are tight. We got Righteous Fire. You could use Vol Righteous Fire, but for me, I instant kill myself since my ward isn't quite enough to cover Forbidden Rite damage taken. If I get more Chaos Res, then I'd be able to do it. But right now, I'm just using Righteous Fire. We have Frostblink. It's up to you if you want Frostblink or not. Summon Skeletons for starting the loop. You can also do a offhand weapon swap with Spectral Spirits instead of having Summon Skeletons in your main gem slots. Have our part 1 of the cast when damage taken loop. Summon Raging Spirit with less duration, cast when damage taken, and Forbidden Rite. One of our damage setups in our chestplate, Ball Lightning of Orbiting. Petrified Blood and Tempest Shield as our reservations. Assassin's Mark for damage. Self-casting it. Phase Run for movement speed. Storm Call in the helmet as another damaged loop. I have Awakened Spell Cascade on here, but it only multiple hits on big bosses. I don't have enough AoE for it to hit on small mobs. Then the second part of the cast with damage taken loop. This one has level 5, so we can have 3 Summon Skeleton Warriors, and then Erase Zombie of Falling. I go in the loop in more detail and show it off in another section. So if you're looking for that, check out the timestamps. Yeah, that's all I got for the PoB. If you have questions or concerns and stuff, leave a comment and I will address. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. Again, if there's anything that I missed or that you want to know more about, leave a comment and I'll address the comment or I'll make another video about it. But yeah, any of my videos, if you're enjoying any of them or if anything's helping you out, leave a like and leave a subscribe to help me out. Otherwise, see you next time.